VPN at technophilespodcast.com. I'm David Geisler, and this is the Technophiles Podcast.
BMW at a conference this week was talking about how they're going to be the first car manufacturer to recycle some batteries and put them to good use in other ways.
On this episode, the cast talks about eco-friendly cars like the BMW i3 and the Nissan Leaf EV. They also talk about bots programmed to scalp Broadway show tickets. We're going to need a bigger battery because this is the Technophiles 302nd episode. Hey everybody, welcome to tonight's show. I am here with Vee Laabs and Jake Gill, two of our regular cast members. Hey guys, how you doing?
Good, cartoony David.
I know, I came in like a little cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we are on Technophiles Podcast.
Wow.
We're like weekday morning radio right now.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, let me tell you about what I did yesterday. Okay, so my wife, she said she had the last soda, and I said I want another soda, and she said I don't have any soda.
Ball and chain, oh man.
I know,
That's how it goes, Dave. That's how it goes.
I know. So I said I need another soda. That's my impression of weekday morning talk radio.
And I'm reminded why I don't listen to that.
Sorry, weekday. Yeah. Sorry, not sorry.
Two dudes, and then like a third dude on a machine in the back that's just slamming every cartoon sound effect in existence.
It's usually two guys and one girl, I think. But anyway, we are two guys and one girl tonight. We are. As a weird coincidence. Krista Lee is out on her family vacation. Mm-hmm. So I have V next to me, and Jake, you're a chair closer.
I know, you guys can see me tonight.
If you're watching the video right now, you can actually see Jake's face tonight. And it's almost a little weird being this close to you, I gotta say. Like, I'm so used to looking over my monitor to see you. Mm-hmm. But here it is.
You just moved me to keep me in check. I understand now.
You're a little bit more front and center. Do you feel intimidated at all, Jake Gill?
Yes, you're in the spotlight.
Right. What'd you do this week? Anything crazy? Anything interesting? We're going to go backwards, B. I'll do Jake first.
Okay.
I'm trying to think.
So I can...
Now
you can't remember your...
I worked a lot. I did a lot of Technophile stuff this week, actually. Wrote a lot of code.
Mm-hmm.
We did a nice paddle on the Fox River here in the Milwaukee area. Went out on kayaks and canoe, and that was pretty fun.
A couple kayaks, one canoe kind of thing?
2 kayaks, 1 canoe.
That's great. Were you kayaking or were you canoeing?
I was kayaking, yeah.
Do you canoe much? Because then my next question was...
So we own a canoe and 2 kayaks and our family. So whenever I want to go out, I just can, which is sweet.
That's great.
Yep,
that's
so
awesome.
It was fun. I mean, other than that, it wasn't a terribly eventful weekend. Played some games. Played no hipster weddings this weekend. Played Coup for the first time, which is like a
he always goes to a game or something.
Yeah, I've played that one. That's
it is
great.
Summer.
Fun.
It is the season of like
we had some friends over for it, which was a good time, and then Pooey was working on Sunday, so I met up with some friends, and we were like, forget you, Pooey, and we watched the Game of Thrones,
episode
9.
Is Game of Thrones on Sunday nights?
Yep.
Got it.
So we
that one
her.
was pretty intense.
The TV monogamy is over.
So, Vee Laabs, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah. I saw your picture on Twitter. I got a big kick out of it about the dog plants that are growing in your garden.
Oh well, yeah. That's my parents' house. My brother's house sitting and dog sitting right now, and he's just been posting pictures to me and my parents of like all the stupid, dumb dog antics that are happening.
Yeah,
like them popping up in the garden and
like kind of literally popping up.
Yeah,
Jake, I don't know if you saw this, but there's a tweet.
I need to go back and look. I think
Vee Laabs at bear_Annika tweeted a picture. Where it's like a garden of, I don't know, basically it's like a hosta garden,
pretty much.
Big green leaves, and Jake sticking right out of there is a dog head like this, just nothing but leaves.
You got it.
Holding a frisbee.
Yeah.
And of course she tweeted like, "Oh, it looks like the dog flowers are coming in well this year."
Yeah,
nice.
My brother actually just sent another one yesterday where both dogs grabbed onto both frisbees at the same time, one dog on each end of the stack of frisbees, and walked all the way up the hill together like that.
That's a 2-body problem.
Yes, and they just stood there and would not let go. They both wanted to win. It was ridiculous.
That's great. That's crazy. Awesome, guys. Let's talk about what we're talking about tonight.
How was your weekend?
It was fun. Oh yeah. Actually, I went down to Kenosha and had a sister's birthday, mother's birthday, Father's Day joint picnic. That was really nice.
Oh my gosh, that's what I did on Saturday too. I went to a birthday party
for
a 1-year-old.
Actually, I'll brag for a second here. I cooked fajitas for the group on the fire. Now, let me tell you about
killing
this.
It.
Let me tell you about this.
Oh, yeah.
So my big thing that I'm so excited about this season is learning how to cook everything that's possible to cook in the world, but doing it on the fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a slightly different strategy than obviously on an oven and a stove where you can change temperatures and change burners. You have one heat source. Now you can gauge that heat source up and down by how many coals you're burning. It takes about an hour to get the right amount of coals.
Yeah, and get
I have some.
height.
I don't cook by recipes too much, but I have some recipes that literally say like 12 coals under the cast iron, 5 coals on top. Okay, I kind of just eyeball it.
Yeah.
But I've cooked a whole bunch of things. But my little sister was like, okay, I'd like to cook on the fire. And she's like, I want fajitas. And I was like, well, I can't do that on a fire. Like, I don't know what. So anyway,
Doesn't seem terrible.
Yeah.
it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad.
And
so
they turn out great, don't they?
So I did the chicken. I did the chicken on the frying pan portion I cooked the chicken quickly, almost stir fry style.
Yeah.
You get it into like a safe zone, like the non-Samazilla.
Mm-hmm.
Samazilla.
Samazilla?
Is
that a new browser?
I'm thinking of zone. Salmonella zone.
It's an old browser.
Samazilla.
Yeah.
People got really, really
put
sick
off by
when they
it.
used it.
Full of viruses.
Danger zone salmonella.
Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, okay. I'll make this go a little quicker here, but chicken on the frying pan, got it ready. Then tons of red green peppers and onion and stuff in the actual Dutch oven.
Mm-hmm.
Got that going on the fire, put a tripod over it, and had the beans simmering a little bit higher because that's more like, that would be the equivalent of like a medium or a low on a stove.
Yeah.
So I had it up over the fire while the vegetables were going, added the chicken back in, did about 10 minutes with like 2 rotations because of the coals, 2 rotations on the Dutch oven. The beans were going fine, and then I toasted the fajita shells on the tripod as well next to the beans, and it all ended at the right time, and it was actually... I felt triumphant.
That's pretty amazing.
I feel like I'm starting to get some fire cooking skills.
Yeah.
I like legit fire cooking
think so.
skills.
You're leveling up.
Like it's not just like steaks and hot dogs on the
on a stick.
I'm starting to get to a place where like, so the next thing I want to try, maybe I'll report after our break, deep dish pizza.
Ooh.
I'm not joking.
You should just make that for us one night
Yeah.
after TPA.
I have come across a deep dish pizza recipe for a Dutch oven on the fire.
Confirmed. Yep.
By doing it, by talking about this recipe on TBN, you hereby enter into an agreement.
Okay, I think we have.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got to get into our show here, but I think we have 2 more episodes before our break. Maybe in 2 weeks, I can try to have it for us.
Perfect. All right.
We'll see.
Good.
Tonight, we're talking about a lot of stuff, folks.
Yup.
So Crystally's gone, so I'm actually covering for her on the newscast this week. So I've got a few stories lined up. I had one about something called the Smart Boy, and I almost had it be my topic tonight, but I'm going to save it for the newscast.
Not a smart dude.
Smart Boy. Well, let me just I just want to touch on this for a second. The Smart Boy. I am losing my damn mind over the Smart Boy.
Okay.
Maybe you can guess what the Smart Boy is. Boy. What's like a handheld that usually has the name Boy attached to it? Of course. And like, I don't know, it's like we used to have like phones that were kind of dumb, but now we have
smartphones.
There's a company, and I will be talking about it on the newscast, which I'll be recording it tomorrow. It'll come out next week. A company that created a legal, not a ROM hack, like legal piece of hardware that for now it's Android, but they said they're going to do it for iPhone 6S or whatever. It's a piece of hardware. You put your phone into it. It docks into a piece of hardware that is the bottom half of a Game Boy, basically.
Please. Okay.
And you take real cartridges.
Yes.
Put them in.
No.
Yes.
And then it shows on your phone.
Yes.
No.
That's your Game Boy.
Yes.
Whoa.
And it also stores save states. It stores like you can do a few other things.
Sick.
I'm talking about it tomorrow. I can't
unreal.
wait. I can't wait. So, but instead,
I can't wait either.
Oh my god.
Look, I want it.
Oh my
Coming
god.
tomorrow just to listen to
I'm
recording.
done. It plays Game Boy and Game Boy Color games right now. It's not a Game Boy Advance. I should be clear about that for now, because physically it has to take those larger old school cartridges.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to talk about it tomorrow. But today I have a story about the Nissan Leaf. The next Nissan Leaf EV is going to come out 3 different models, and one of the models should get up to Nissan's claiming will be able to accomplish 200 miles on one charge, which of course the Model S, the Tesla Model S, famously can do, and a few other models can do. And this is kind of a hurdle. This is a cool thing, and I'll talk about it on the break, but it's kind of an interesting thing, and I'll discuss that more, why I think that's pushing electric cars even further into normal reality on my part. So I'm talking about the Nissan Leaf tonight, and then Jake, you actually found something about BMW recycling batteries. What is this?
Yeah, so this is kind of same in that sustainable energy sphere. BMW at a conference this week was talking about how they're going to be the first car manufacturer to recycle some batteries and put them to good use in other ways, because once they can't power a car anymore, they're pretty useless unless they can repurpose.
And we're talking about, it's okay, but we're talking about basically regular car batteries.
Car batteries from the i3, which is Beamer's electric kind of compact.
Yes, very good.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we'll dig into that in a minute.
I think we're actually going to do that first, Jake. Then we'll do mine in part 2. And then in part 3, V, you have a story here. We've got V with the bots. I love it.
Yeah.
A ticket scalping bot.
Yes.
I haven't been able to read this article yet, so what the heck are we going to be talking about in part 3?
It's not a huge advancement in ticket scalping technology, but it's rather the legalities of ticket scalping
like a physical
technology.
bot out there going, 2 tickets, $40, 2 tickets, $40.
Tickets, please. Would you like to buy tickets? Or like Mr. Handy, or it's like Fallout, like, hello, sir. Would you like to buy some tickets? It has like 50 arms. Like, one moment, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
That
like
would be
serving 6 people at a time.
$150.
That's great. No, so it's
Caps,
probably
caps,
not.
Caps.
Is it a software bot?
No, it's well,
I guess
we'll
get
talk
into
about it.
Hey guys, have you used any of this Facebook Messenger bot stuff yet?
I have not. What are you talking about?
So Facebook has kind of gone the Slack route now, and they opened up Facebook Messenger for bot integration about a week or two ago. I almost had it be one of our topics, but I think it kind of slipped through.
Oh, is this kind of like how they've been integrating like little apps into it?
At the end of the day, they're basically chatbots, but that's kind of what it is on Slack anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Though chatbots can do a lot, I explored the TechCrunch bot a little bit this morning on Facebook Messenger and a few others. Have you used it at all, Jake? At all? Any of these bots?
Mm-mm.
Ultimately, I don't know. It was a little annoying, I got to be honest, but it could be something cool.
I just did a bunch of Slack integrations at work, and I'm like really happy with them, but not. And they're just bots that make my life easier.
Right.
It's calendar reminders, Twitter, Asana, which is like a task management service we use.
We use
Giphy,
Toggle,
which is
Giphy. Yeah, at TPN we use Toggle
Essential.
to record
one
all
of our people is not happy.
hours. And there's a Toggle integration on Slack, which is really nice. Crystal and I use that when we're working. Eventually, maybe all the editors will use that because you don't, whatever. Okay. Well, anyway, Facebook Messenger bots.
Are cool.
You said bots. Bots are cool.
It's kind
Everybody's
of. I
doing
think
it.
that the Messenger bots. I mean, if I.
Here's the thing.
I don't want to misquote anyone, but I do feel like there's a lot of conversation around them as like Google's first step into the AI realm of this is what we're doing.
Here's my take. I know we're doing like a little mini topic before we get into this BMW stuff. I apologize. I just had it on my mind. The Slack bots can do some really impressive things. Other bots could, and eventually these chat bots are going to become Siri and Echo and Google Now, where you're just saying,
we're just going to get incorporated
say,
in, right?
Hey, TechCrunch, tell me your stories or whatever, and then it's talking at you like Data from Star Trek.
Yep.
Right now, unfortunately, what it was for me, I was in a line at a store this morning picking up some stuff for my job. And I was like, well, let's try this TechCrunch. And I'm not speaking about TechCrunch specifically. It's not like they did it wrong or anything. It's just the way these chatbots work.
Yeah.
And I brought it up and I was like, hey, TechCrunch, okay, well, news stories, tech news. And I'm getting like 8 messages at once, like,
Whoa.
and then it's saying like, hey, type menu or type yes or no. And I'm like, no, I'm just doing normal navigation. This isn't conversational at all. Mm-hmm. And then I literally typed, could you please leave me alone for a while? And I got 3 more messages being like, no, it's fine. If you need help, just do this, but do this. And I was like, done. Delete.
Bye.
I deleted it. I did. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I think there's a good future with these bots. I wanted to see if anybody else had used them this one.
Not yet. I'll check it out though.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's potential and there's obviously, a couple years from now, this is going to be great stuff. But Jake, BMW recycling batteries.
Yep.
So the i3, I'm not actually familiar with the i3. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Well, it's a smaller compact car, and it's their electric vehicle. It's all electric. So they have a lot of batteries that are in them, but and this is not just BMW that has this problem, but these batteries are very expensive to make. They don't last forever. So when you need to replace them, they're kind of costly and quite frankly,
you can't just throw them away.
You can't, right?
A lot of batteries are technically hazardous waste, right?
Yeah.
Are all batteries hazardous waste?
I don't.
Probably pretty close.
Probably pretty close.
Yeah.
So BMW in this, they were at. I had this pulled up and now
it's all good.
I was looking for.
Oh, I see they're talking about Tesla's Powerwall a little bit. We did a newscast on that.
Yep, we can talk. I mean, it's all kind of related here, but so this was at a electric vehicle symposium, EVS 29, which was held in Montreal this week. And yeah, they said they're going to be the first automaker that is going to recycle the batteries of the cars. Obviously not the first. Powerwall, Tesla's Powerwall, like we were just saying, is kind of the front runner right now for companies that are doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But it is the next step toward kind of a sustainable energy lifestyle. And it's interesting that BMW is doing this, because I think that they're like, hey, we have customers who are willing to spend quite a bit of money on cars, and some of them are eco-friendly and, you know, environmentally conscious, and so we want to offer them a platform and a solution that is more than just the vehicle.
That's fair. It's like, oh, look, I'm saving all this. I'm helping the planet by not, you know, burning dinosaurs, but then here's this little toxic waste gem when I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So this unit, what they're offering, and this will be available soon. We don't know what soon
Quotes,
is yet.
Just did quotes.
But you hook it into the grid. So this is something that goes into the grid to actually get charged. And you can do this with either rooftop solar, or you can buy energy from like high energy markets that are selling low, right? They store the energy, and then they store them in these i3 batteries that are no longer capable of powering cars. But the goal here is that in an emergency situation or whatever, you could essentially power a home for about 2 days off of these batteries.
Whoa.
Yes. Which is a significant period of time.
Yeah.
So they're talking about storage here being like 22 kilowatt hours.
Wait. So they
which the average home in America is about 15 kilowatt hours to 30 kilowatt hours per day of energy. So they're well within for people, and so this is. I mean, I think that this unit relative to like the Powerwall, which is really just kind of connecting, it's powering your Tesla. Like this is just going into the house. It needs to be hardwired into the house, but it's also setting up for solar paneling and other things.
This being the BMW version.
The BMW version. Yep. This unit is, and just the fact that you can, you can buy energy for cheap and store it in these cells is also very interesting, because, you know, you don't necessarily have to have a solar unit or something to still kind of take advantage.
No, that's true. I'm losing track here a little bit. Are they recyclable in that they are rechargeable, or are they recyclable in that when you discard them, they can be recycled?
So they want to take the cells once they're done in the cars, or quite frankly, they want people who don't have a car to go out and buy one of these and buy the battery anyways.
Yeah. I see now.
But they're like, hey, we have a use for these batteries that are no longer, because they've been producing this car since like 2013. Mm-hmm. They don't think that there's a lot of used batteries on the market yet, because the batteries do have a decent time that they can be used.
Yeah.
Right. But when they're no longer able to power that car, they need to do something with them. Mm-hmm. So this is what they're proposing. Wow. I think it's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Could you remind me what a Powerwall is again?
So the Tesla Powerwall, we did, maybe it was a podcast that we did on it.
It feels familiar. Is that the thing where like it holds the energy?
I know what it was.
Within the house.
It was a newscast that I did, and it was like a year or two ago. It might have been right around the time you were coming on the show. Uh-huh. Elon Musk announced it. Basically, Tesla took a version of their battery that's in the car. They've made it a wall-mounted device. And they're kind of selling it like it's a utility, like you have your water heater and your furnace and stuff, and you might have your battery now, or your Powerwall.
Okay.
And that Powerwall would be, let's just imagine it would be in your garage, and maybe it's exactly the thing you plug into your car. That is the idea.
Okay.
But
you
in
could
addition,
also use it for other stuff.
You can use it for other stuff. So if you have a Tesla or any electric car, but let's say you have a Tesla and you pull it into your garage and you plug it in, you're pulling that off the normal power grid.
Yeah.
If you don't have something like a Powerwall.
Yeah.
So Tesla came up with this idea of taking another version of their battery, putting it on the wall, like I just said, and that thing can charge up either off the grid or hopefully more off solar panels and stuff. And Elon Musk is on the board of a big solar panel company. It's all in this news. Solar City, there it is.
So they're
they're
thinking about buying it.
Tesla's thinking about buying it now?
Well, Elon Musk is.
Yeah, right, you're right. Which makes sense. He's been on the board for years, and as they've grown,
watching their
Solar
stocks
City,
for quite some time, honestly.
I learned this on the newscast when I was reporting on the newscast. Solar City, they're actually really well integrated in commercial spaces right now.
Ooh.
Like the tops of mega stores and things, any big box stores. They're really doing well with that, but they haven't really hit the
I follow this guy on
market.
Twitter who has Solar City paneling installed in his house, and every day he does reports on how much energy he harnesses from the sun and coverage.
I'm sure it's great.
It's so awesome. Oh. Well, and like the thing is that the company is like kind of smart like Tesla where they integrate and push updates as to make themselves more efficient.
Yep.
So a lot of the things they're doing are in the code base. So, but we're kind of getting away from BMW a little bit.
It's true. That was that's what a Powerwall is.
Yeah. Okay.
But so actually the conversation, I mean, it's good that we're talking about the Powerwall because it is a little bit relevant here. See, Tesla relative to BMW and other manufacturers, I mean, Tesla and BMW are not the only ones that are making batteries, right? Nissan is doing it and a bunch of other companies. Like this is a lot of people are shifting toward this. But Tesla kind of cornered the market in the sense that because their sports cars were so popular, Model S is so popular. Now they have the Model X. Now they have the Model 3 coming out.
Yep.
They were able to kind of buy up a lot of the resources that are used to make these batteries. And so their plant is just so much more efficient at battery production.
Literally the Gigafactory, right?
The Gigafactory, which is valued at insane money and probably undervalued very much so right now because it is a marvel of the world. It makes more batteries than every other battery company in the world combined in one place in Nevada.
Holy smokes.
But so they're just able to produce so cheaply. And
it's because of economy of scale.
Yep, it's because of economy of scale. But like other manufacturers, so they need to think of what is the word I'm looking for? They need to think of good, solid ways to get kind of into the market and still be competitive. And this is one of the ways that they're trying to do it.
Sometimes I wonder.
So just utility of reusing.
Jake, maybe you know this, and I don't know this. This is a little tidbit I've kind of lost. All of these, because we are, like I said, we're going to be talking about the Nissan Leaf in part 2. All these electric cars, do they have proprietary plug-ins, or is there a standard? In other words, could you plug in your Nissan Leaf at a Tesla charging station?
Yeah. Sure.
Or are they proprietary?
I'm not sure.
I hope that there's a standard, because that'd
I
be
would
really good for everybody.
think that Elon
Yeah.
would. I mean, he like put his patents out for most stuff, so he would probably prefer that everyone just
Isn't
uses
he all big
the
like
same.
open source?
Yeah, everything's open source. Yeah, I would imagine.
But
He'd
the
be
question
like,
is
if you want to
whether
make it
or
like
not-
ours,
The
that's
people who
fine.
take
But is
that
it going
open-
the other way too?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. This
Well,
could be a
because
Sony
his-
Bio situation.
Well, and his supercharge stations that they're building, like not his, but Tesla's that they're building, and they're kind of doubling in preparation for the Model 3, they, you can quick charge a car in like 30 minutes. So one would hope that someone else, that you could take your Beamer and plug it in there. But anyways, I mean, I think the reason that I brought this in, and obviously it's fun talking about Tesla as well, but just it's great to see another company that is, I mean, they're realizing that fossil fuels we don't have them forever.
Right.
And so they're shifting gears. I mean, who thought that Beamer would be?
It's true to point out. Of course, what we're not trying to say that BMW is just kind of doing their best Tesla impression. It's nice to see the entire industry moving in this
They
direction.
realize that there's a market there,
and it's also nice that now Tesla's not this kind of weird
Yep.
fantasy. Like, well, I guess there's like that little percentage.
Yep.
It's
That
seeming
weird
like a real
idealist
thing
over there.
So of
making
course
his
we end
electric
up talking
cars.
about it a little bit.
Well, and then the interesting thing too is while I was reading this article, fantastic article from the Christian Science Monitor about this whole process.
Written by Ben Rosen.
Thank you. And thank you, Ben. They mentioned right at the end though that there's also some research being done at the Vee. Can you scroll down to the bottom of the article and
Yes,
see
I
what
can.
university? But they're talking about that there's some patents and research going into electric drive vehicles.
University of Delaware.
Thank you. So what this means is that the car actually, when it's driving, will charge its battery packs because of the way the engine is
Is this the thing with the braking?
designed. And then when you plug it in, it actually charges the grid. So the car charges, you charge the car off the grid, but then like your power unit, but then the car when it's driving around is
give it
generating
back.
energy and then it puts it back in.
Yeah.
So it's this loop where
There's-
it's like, why can we not generate energy from the thing we're using at the same time? So, I mean, all of this stuff to me is just super cool where eventually what they want is like your house can be self-sustaining with and your car is self-sustaining and,
The biggest thing I've collected
happy-go-lucky
about
future
the biggest
that-
thing I've collected about like solar panels and energy and all this kind of stuff is like there's been a little bit of a shift in the past couple of years, if I may, and if you guys disagree with me, it's totally okay. There was, 10 years maybe, the fantasy was like, get off the grid. Everyone should have their own personal little city as their house. And we're realizing, I think, that's not as important as it might sound, but the balance of that. Like, you don't have to be off the grid, but you can be contributing to the grid.
Yes.
Every house. That's
or
kind
you
of
can
where
be
this is.
reducing your draw on the grid,
Right,
which I
right.
think is what a lot of these. I mean, this is what we're talking about with this power cell or the unit that they're talking about in Tesla's power. If you plug it in, it's like really we want to make sure that we can, or Solar City, I think, like they're trying to provide power at night when energy usage is high.
Right.
So you're not drawing from the grid.
Yeah, exactly. And solar panels are still kind of slow at pulling in electricity. That's why it's really important to have batteries, really good batteries, to pair with solar panels.
Yeah.
Because, you have to charge all day long on a solar panel to get a certain amount. You want to hold on to that. Yep. You can't just go straight.
Yeah.
Let's take a break and kind of just continue this conversation.
I have one other thing it's like Beamer related though.
Yeah.
Also in the news was the i8, which is a very fancy kind of sporty looking BMW. This car it was a petrol electric hybrid. So they're using turbo engines and 2 hybrid motors, I believe. Now it's announced that their next prototype is going full electric.
Full electric.
So they're making a full electric supercar.
The i8, and this is the i3 is the one we were just talking about.
i3 is the one we're just talking about. The i8, you can see these on the road. You can purchase, and i3s as well. But the i8 is very sporty, kind of like Batmobile looking thing.
Do you know what? Is there a 4, 5, 6, 7, or is that just whatever?
I don't know.
I don't know if they're iterations. It might mean something else. All right. They're making what?
But no, they're just making a very high revving electric engine. Like they're like, we want to bring sports and competition to Beamer's electric brand, where we don't need the petrol engine anymore based on the research they've been doing. And essentially what happens is you make your batteries a little bit better. You get rid of some of these hybrid motors or the petrol engines that you don't need anymore. That creates a lot of space, which means bigger batteries and more power.
Right.
So
less weight. Did you see the thing?
So these cars will have, because of the bigger batteries, because they want that range as well.
Yeah.
Everyone wants that range. These will be about the same weight as the current cars, but with better batteries in them. So they're like, that's and it's carbon frame, and I mean it's a gorgeous.
I think we're to the point where batteries are smaller than engines right now, right? In cars,
you need a lot,
depending on how many batteries. Because a while ago it was like, hey, look at my electric car.
Has the most
entire trunk is a battery pack.
Trunk space out of any production vehicle of that size.
Front and back.
Because they get
in Tesla, I think they put them 2 trunks. They're almost on the floor in Teslas. I think
it's built into the subframe.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah,
the subframe is the battery, basically.
Yeah.
That's cool. I saw a headline today too, and then we will go to break. We're kind of peaking right now. Tighter. We're on different microphones tonight. How technically Elon Musk announced that a Tesla would technically float. By the way, there's the air that's inside. Eventually it would sink, but it's actually buoyant.
It would be buoyant.
The amount of air volume inside it would actually technically hold it up.
One more reason to
not to say that it should practically be a floating car or it's not practical to float it, but it's saying that mathematically it's showing how light.
And then it will be in a James Bond movie.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Somebody's gonna drive it into a canal in a movie, and they're just
I mean that's kind of the recap there. I think there's a lot of really interesting things coming out of. I would say that we, Technophiles listeners and viewers, we are not done talking about electric batteries and wall units, and
I feel like
the automotive industry kind of rebranding itself in such a way to just be more utility for the entire home system. The entire your entire life basically.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be great. All right, let's go to break, and we'll be right back talking about the Nissan Leaf. I'll see you guys in just a little bit. But before that, actually, Jake, if people want to chat with you on Twitter or something about this, they can find you where?
You can find me on Twitter at Critical Owl.
Fantastic. We love it when people tweet the show at Technophiles Pod, or find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Facebook by searching Technophiles Podcast. Or if they want to talk with us a little bit more at length or share some comments or thoughts with us, they can certainly comment on our website at technophilespodcast.com about this episode specifically, or they're welcome to send us an email at technophilespodcast@gmail.com. I'll see you guys in part 2.
As long as they can spell it.
Technophiles, Philes. I think there's a with an F out there somewhere. I saw something about a URL or something. It's a website that's been dead for 8 years or something, one of those things. All right, guys. We'll see you in part 2.
Yeah.